Have you ever followed God for years and then one season made you question everything that you thought that you knew? That doesn't make you faithless. It means something real happened. Welcome back to The Deeper Dig. I'm really glad that you're here. Today, I want to talk about something that almost everyone wrestles with at some point in their lives, even the people who look like they have strong faith, and that is this. If God is loving and God is good, why the heck is there so much pain in this world? And I want to say this up front. If you've had that question, it doesn't mean that you're weak. It usually means that you've lived. It means that you've watched someone that you love suffer, and it means that you've prayed for something and it didn't go the way that you thought it would. It might even mean that you've been hurt, maybe deeply, and you don't know what to do with that. Because let's be honest, this question usually doesn't show up during the good seasons. It shows up when you're staring at something that you didn't choose, a loss, a betrayal, a diagnosis, a season where life just keeps taking and taking. And somewhere in that, the thought comes, if you're real, why didn't you stop this? If you grew up around church, that thought can feel a little bit terrifying, like you shouldn't even be thinking about it. But Scripture doesn't treat questions like this as a disrespect. The Bible is actually full of people saying the quiet part out loud. David did it. Why, Lord, do you stand far away? In Psalm 10:1. Job did it. Jeremiah did it. Even Jesus did it. Matthew 27:46. My God, why have you abandoned me? So if you've been afraid that asking hard questions means that you're failing faith, just in case, you're not. You are human, and you're in the middle of something real. Now, here's where I want to gently bring some perspective, not in a this fixes it everything way, but in a way that might steady you. A lot of us carry the idea that love should prevent pain altogether. But even in real life, love doesn't work like that. If you've ever loved someone, you know this. Love doesn't mean that you can control every outcome. Love doesn't mean that you can prevent every hurt. And love doesn't mean that you can remove every risk. Because real love involves real choice. And the Bible makes it clear from the beginning that humans were given real freedom, not a forced goodness or a robotic obedience, but real choice. And choice means that people can choose love or they can choose harm. And a lot of the pain that we experience in the world isn't God being cruel, it's people being human and using freedom destructively. Abuse, neglect, violence, betrayal, greed, oppression, all of those things are not God's heart. That is humanity at its worst, misusing what God gave. And I know that doesn't make the pain feel smaller, but it does change the question a little bit, because sometimes the question isn't, why did God do this? It's, why did people do this? And why didn't God stop it? And that's the part that really stings, because you're thinking, if God can intervene, why didn't he? I'm not going to pretend that that's an easy answer. But I will say this. Christianity doesn't offer a God who watches pain from a distance. It offers a God who steps into it. Jesus didn't avoid suffering. He experienced betrayal. He experienced grief. He experienced injustice. And he experienced physical pain. And one of the most overlooked moments in the Gospels is when Jesus shows up to Lazarus' tomb. He knows what he's about to do, and yet still he weeps. John 11:35, Jesus wept. That tells me something I need to remember when I'm hurting, and that is that God's response to pain is not always explanation first. It's presence, not distance, not cold logic, not get over it. Presence. That's a big difference. Because a lot of us have been taught quietly that if we're faithful, we won't struggle like this. But the Bible actually never says faithful people avoid pain. It says that God meets them in it. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, Psalm 34:18. It doesn't say that God only comes close once you're fine. It says he's close when you're crushed. I want to say something clearly here because this matters. I'm not trying to spiritualize trauma. And this is me not saying that everything happens for a reason, because some things happen because the world is broken. But I do believe this, that God doesn't waste our pain, even when he didn't cause it. And I do believe that he can bring redemption into what was meant to destroy you, what was meant to destroy me. And that doesn't mean that you have to pretend that you're okay, my friend. If you're in a season like this, you're allowed to be honest. You are allowed to grieve. You are allowed to feel angry. You're allowed to wrestle. You're allowed to say, this hurts and I don't understand it. Faith isn't pretending pain doesn't exist. It's staying in the relationship even when the answers aren't there yet. And I know it's hard. If you need proof the Bible agrees with that, look at this. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. Not clean it up first, say it nicer, not don't feel that. Cast it because he cares. Now, before we close, I want to give you one simple coaching moment for this week. Nothing heavy, just something that helps you move from spiraling to being honest. Here it is. Sometime this week, take 10 minutes, just 10. Open your notes app or a journal and write this sentence at the top. God, here's where this hurt messed with my trust. Then answer these 2 prompts quickly without editing. Number 1, what happened that made this question louder for me? And number 2, what do I wish you would have done differently? And when you're done, this is the key. Read what you wrote back to God as your prayer. Not a polished prayer, not the right version, your real one. Because staying honest is staying connected with him. And that is the win. I'll leave you with this week. If God is real and if he's loving, he's not threatened by your pain. And he is not offended by your questions. And he is not distant from your suffering. Sometimes faith is not about certainty. Sometimes faith is saying, I really don't understand God, but I'm still here. And for today, that counts. We'll keep digging gently, honestly, together. Until next time.